Well, greetings once more from sunny Kurdistan, and I'm currently standing somewhere on the road between Erbil and the Kurdistan region's second largest city of Sulaymaniyah, or Slemani. And yeah, currently hitchhiking, trying to find a way into Slemani. Wish me luck. Bunny, oh, it's you!
Yeah.
Ah, I think I know you.
Yes.
You're the best driver in Kurdistan.
Yes, of course.
You took me to Accra a few days ago.
Come in.
Oh.
Yeah, let's take you to Suli. Let's go.
Oh, let's do it, man. Yeah. It's like driving into the moon. Yeah. So back with the best driver in Kurdistan. What are the odds of that, man? What are the chances? I was just out here in the middle of nowhere.
Don't worry, I'm in everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I just started walking.
Don't worry. In Kurdistan, Suli, Erbil, Accra, Rana, Shaklava, and everywhere.
Man.
At the same time, I will come to you.
What a guy! What a guy! He's like magic. Sunny Kurdistan has once again become rainy Kurdistan. Look at that! The best driver in Kurdistan has delivered me safely to Slemani. But actually,
We arrived. Yeah.
first things first. Iftar.
Iftar.
What are we having?
For iftar,
Yeah.
we have like barbecue things I
Oof.
think, yeah, today, like kebab, chicken, lamb, chicken wing, all the type of the. Even they have the testicle.
Ah, no. I'm good, bro. I'm good. You had me until testicles, man. All right, let's go check it out.
You see this picture on the wall? This is owner of the restaurant. He always say hello and say goodbye.
Hello and goodbye.
Yeah, you see the picture?
Yeah.
It is like this.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Fakhr Hariri.
Fakhr Hariri.
Yeah, Fakhr Hariri chicken wings barbecue.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is way colder in Suli than it was in Erbil. You can see my breath. Huh? Yeah, right? You can see your breath.
See the chicken?
Yeah.
By charcoal.
Wow. Chicken. Look at the technique. Woo! Man. Number one. Yeah.
The guy's from America.
Who's this guy?
This guy.
You remember? Ah, okay.
This one.
I haven't even tried the food yet, but it's
Yeah. Try it. Kaka.
Man, I'm doing advertisements for this spot without even having tried the food first, so it better live up to expectations. But I do trust Harim, man. I mean, after all, he is the best driver in Kurdistan. Ah, Zospas. My new friend here, what's your name?
Nautia.
Nauros.
His name Noros.
Noros.
He's a baker. He's a baker.
Yeah.
The Shaman, the banana.
More chicken coming through. Woo. What a great place, man. Alright, so apparently we're going to see how the bread is baked now. Nice. Let's do it. Oh. Wow. The place is huge. Woo. Look at a dining hall, man. Wow. Salam, man. Wow.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
He's a big chef.
Oh, big chef over here. Huh? The king of the kebab?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, the king of the kebab. Wow, look at him. Look what he's doing. Let's see the technique.
Let's go to the
He's a bad baker
Yeah.
in Sulaymaniyah.
Yeah.
He's a bad baker.
He's a bad baker.
Yeah, I'm a good bad
You're the good baker.
Yeah.
Oh, so this guy's okay. I see there's a little bit of animosity between the two of them. Look at the technique. Look at it. Wow. And you throw it in the tandoor. Woo. Let's see. Wow. Can I see from here? No problem. Wow. I think these two maybe don't like each other in the back. I can't tell. Yeah? It's nice. The only thing I can think about being here is how much somebody like Mark Wiens would love this experience. But yeah, I'm not Mark Wiens. Going over here. Is it must? Mustard. I love it.
You like it?
I like it. I like it. I'll take one. Spas. Masta, you call it, right? What do you think of the lentil soup, man?
It's
Bash.
very nice. Delicious.
Zorbash.
Zorbash.
Oh man, so the wings have arrived.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like it did outside, actually. So, not a huge surprise, but man, it smells unbelievably delicious.
What's the baba? So, huh? Nice, huh?
Wow.
You like it?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So the chicken sheath has arrived. Oh, man. And the chicken sheath is ridiculous. Get a little bite like this. Why does this taste so good?
It's very tasty.
Why is it so good?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no exaggeration, that was one of the best meals I've had in a long time. And in terms of chicken wings, definitely number one. I'm normally not even a big fan of chicken wings, but good lord, whatever they did here, the secret to this place, the world needs to know. Number one.
If you have any speech
Those
to
of
them.
us. A speech.
Yeah,
This
about
was this was the best chicken wing that I've ever had in my life. Yeah, there it is. I love Slemani. Welcome to Suli. And on the main street in Suli, Salam Street.
Yes, Salam Street, which is we call Saholaka.
Why do they call it Saholaka?
There was in the past there's a ice factory close to this street, and then people they say, you know, the road is close to this factory. They say, yeah, you can go by Saholaka Road. This name is coming and keep it until now. People say, yeah, Saholaka. So,
Amazing.
yeah, amazing.
Actually, I always was confused when people would say Salam Street and Saholaka. I thought they were talking about two streets. But it's one street. Well, good morning, Bani Bash from beautiful Slemani. And yeah, I slept like a baby after that absolutely incredible meal last night. And welcome to Salam Street and Saholaka in particular, staying right next to the main boulevard. And yeah, I can't wait for what today is going to bring. Slemani is a city, by the way, of around 700,000 people, which makes it roughly half the size of the capital Erbil. And even though it's half the size, it makes up for it in, well, charm, and you'll see. It's an amazing, amazing city. And Suli is definitely a very revolutionary city. And you have street names like this, Shoresh, which literally means revolution. And by the way, Suli is controlled by the PUK, or the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, which says that it's a social democratic party, as opposed to the KDP that runs Erbil in that region. And well, they're more of a, I guess you can say, conservative political formation. It's crazy to think about, but for a long period of time, this particular building, which is the Slemani Palace Hotel, was the tallest building in the entire city. It's been surpassed by many a skyscraper ever since, which gives you an indication of how much the city has developed in the 35 years since Kurdish autonomy. I'm in one of those conundrums again. How do I cross the street? I guess like this. Shit. Well, I'm sure you're shocked to learn that there's a bazaar here in Slemani. Not quite as big as the one in Erbil or nearly as aesthetic, but just about as chaotic. So I'm not staying here this time around, but I have stayed in the Dolphin Hotel twice, once in 2017 and once in 2023. And I gotta say, if you're looking for a room, a private room in Slemani that's about $20, $25 a night, and is situated right in the middle of the main area, then this is definitely for you. And no lack of photos around Slemani of Mam Jalal Talabani, long-term leader and founder of the PUK, and the first Kurdish president of Iraq. So in March of 1991, the Raparin, or the uprising, commenced here in Iraqi Kurdistan, and it started in Rania, where I was a few days ago. It spread very quickly to every big city and every corner of the region, and by the 7th of March, Slemani was in the hands of the Peshmerga, with the exception of one particular spot, the Security Directorate, which is right next to me. And the Security Directorate was effectively a torture house. I mean, countless Kurds had been taken there, tortured there, killed there over the previous years. So it was really the nerve center of the Ba'athist Arab chauvinist dictatorship. And then eventually the Peshmerga gained control of the Security Directorate, and there was visceral and deep hatred on behalf of the Kurdish people towards the Ba'athist authorities. So around 700 Ba'athist officials were then basically rounded up. I mean, a lot of them hacked to pieces in the middle of the streets, but yeah, around 700 killed. The only problem is eventually the Iraqi government regained control of Slemani. And, well, there was a huge panic. Basically, the entire city was emptied. People went into the mountains, fled for their own safety. Eventually, the Peshmerga were able to stage an offensive on the city in July. And since July of 1991, the city has been, you could say, 100% in control of the Peshmerga and now the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan. And all of the bullet holes from the fighting in 1991 still very much visible here. Yeah, so inside of the old Security Directorate now, which would have been the stronghold for the Ba'athist regime here in Slemani for a long period of time. And like I said, a torture house. And nowadays the whole thing is known as the Amna Suraka, or the Red Prison, which is a museum which pays tribute to the Kurdish struggle in general, not just here in Iraqi Kurdistan. So nowadays, this particular building is a museum dedicated to the Peshmerga. So again, those who face death, the armed forces, the guerrillas from back in the day who would have fought against the Ba'athist regime. Just as is the case today, the Peshmerga back in the day would have been divided by, well, political affiliation. So yeah, KDP, PUK, and also a lot of Peshmerga belonging to the Iraqi Communist Party, which nowadays has split off and calls itself the Kurdistan Communist Party. But yeah, they would have facilitated the armed struggle as well. Wow, so this was literally where Ba'athist snipers were firing on the people on the 7th of March 1991. And here you have a depiction of students who would have been active inside the cities, basically spray painting slogans on walls, which, as you can imagine, was also incredibly risky. Imagine being found out and the consequences that would have had at the time. And you can see some of the cluster bombs or munitions on display here, illegal under international law. Literally everything that we see here manufactured in the Soviet Union. So, during that time, like I said, the USSR and the Western powers supporting Ba'athist Iraq. Then the Western powers changed starting in 1991, really. They wanted to take out all of the nationalist governments after the socialist governments were gone. Yeah, what a contradiction, huh? And this room here is known as the Exodus Hall, in reference to all of those Kurdish people who fled into the mountains, out of the cities, away from the Ba'athist forces during the fighting in March of 1991. And they even have a hall here which is referred to as Mine Hall, and you see all of the different landmines that would have cost so many lives across Iraqi Kurdistan, and also, well, all of the countries that supplied the mines to the Ba'athist government. Well, this is very near and dear to me. There's a hall dedicated to the fight against Daesh or ISIS, and there's actually a lot of martyrs, shaheeds from the YPG, so the People's Protection Units who fought and continue to fight in northern Syria. And yeah, I was there for a month in 2017, and some of the photos are very, very familiar to me. And a massive room also dedicated to the victims of the Anfal, the Kurdish genocide, which culminated in 1988 with the murder of around 182,000 people. Well, I remember this very, very well from my previous visit around 2 years ago, the jail and torture section, so I'm bracing myself because it is by far the most grim element of the entire Amna Suraka, and that's really saying something considering that we just saw part of it dedicated to the Kurdish genocide of 1988. This one here is known as Solitary Cell Number 2, which was largely for kids, teenage boys under the age of 18, 15 square meters with one toilet, sometimes up to 40 people held here. One of the most commonly employed tools of psychological torture was to have people basically chained up like this and have them stand for prolonged periods of time for hours on end. And yeah, here in one room of 21 square meters, this is where sometimes up to 50 women prisoners would have been held, some of them pregnant, who ended up giving birth literally right here. You know, so this was my second visit to the Amna Suraka in the span of about the last 2 years. And I'd love to be able to sit here and say that because of that I was prepared emotionally for what I was going to see, but I don't think anything can really prepare you. I mean, even if it's your 10th visit to a place like this, and it just reaffirms how much the people here have suffered and fought valiantly and, you know, sacrificed for their self-determination and the autonomy that they have today in Iraq. And speaking of deeply significant names, how about Azadi Park? You might know the expression Jin Jihan Azadi, woman, life, freedom. So yeah, the Freedom Park, a testament to the fact that now Kurdish people can breathe free here in this particular part of Iraq. Yeah, there's a lot of busts here of figures relevant to Kurdish history, to founders of different political movements, everybody who was involved in the fight for Kurdish self-determination. One thing you've probably realized by now from my other 2 videos in Iraqi Kurdistan, or from this one as well, and if you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you go and do that right now. Well, not right now, but after watching this one. But yeah, there's very little in the way of Iraqi flags being flown. I mean, from official government buildings, they do have to fly the flag of the Iraqi, central government, the national flag side by side with the Kurdistan regional government's flag. But you could say it's very reluctant. And in 2017, there was an independence referendum here, which overwhelmingly was voted in favor of. So, Kurdish people do not feel as if they, want to remain part of an Iraqi state. They really want their independence. The question is, long-term, what will happen with Kurdistan? I mean, will there be a united Kurdistan, between peoples living now in Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran? Or will there simply be autonomy within the framework of those nation states that already exist? Of course, you always have rules to attend to like any park in the world, like no not use gas cylinders, no gun allowed, but presumably guns is cool, no drinking alcohol, obviously, no not swim, do not smoke shisha. I'll make sure I don't do that. They say that Slemani is the most modern city in the Kurdistan region, and I guess this is definitive proof. Catachino, a cat cafe. And as a cat man, or a crazy cat man, I got no choice but to enter.
How you doing? Oh my goodness. Hi. Oh my god. You're very excited. Hi. How you doing?
I'm so happy to be surrounded by cats. I miss mine so much. Oh, this one's taking a liking to me. I think my trip to Kurdistan is complete. My heart is so full right now. You really like me. You coming home with me? You really want to be the center of attention, huh? Haven't felt this happy on the entirety of my trip. So, I love people, but cats is just something else. Yeah, nothing cheers me up quite like cats, but also makes me miss home so much. But anyway, back into the streets of Slemani, and what a beautiful day it is. And my favorite bookshop in Slemani, Jamal Erfan. Love this place. And another public park. This one a lot smaller than Azadi Park, but hey, it has cats. As if we didn't get enough earlier. I'm really bummed out. So I've been to Slemani. This is now my 5th time here, and I've never been able to make it inside of the Slemani Museum, which dates back to 1961, moved into this building in 1979. It's the 2nd largest museum in all of Iraq after the National Museum in Baghdad. And yeah, every time I've been here, including for a 2-week period in 2021, it's been closed. And today, also closed, despite the fact that the opening hours, well, say that it's open. Man. The sun is setting on a beautiful day here in Suli, and we are duty bound to go out and check out the streets, Salem Street in particular, at iftar. Salam. Oh man, these beans. I remember these beans being just absolutely out of control delicious. Well, yeah, maybe you wouldn't think of Iraqi Kurdistan as a street food destination, but here it's a halakha, and I remember it being like this 4 years ago, so it's not merely because it's Ramadan. I mean, absolutely jam-packed with everything, and apparently they also really love pasta here. Well, I think that's going to do it from an absolutely amazing day here in Suli, and by extension, an incredible trip to Iraqi Kurdistan. The 5th time that I was here in the span of the last 12 years. And inshallah, hopefully, it won't be my last. But anyway, if you enjoyed this series of videos, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, it's the first time that I've ever said that. But yeah, I really do need the likes, comments, and more than anything, the subscriptions. So anyway, hopefully see you on the next adventure somewhere in the world.